that three-eyed backstabbing bitch. How dare she? How she fucking dare? No, I'm kidding. Honestly, most of us saw this coming months ago. And most of those who saw it coming probably dropped that feeling after the last chapter, at the very end, with her crying her fucking tears, which we now know are crocodile tears to the 10th degree, because Pudding is a lying, conniving bitch. Now, it's not like we couldn't have seen this logically from the beginning. Now, most of us just had a bad feeling, but if we had actually looked at her character design back when she first reappeared in the Whole Cake Island arc, we would have noticed one thing that was actually kind of different during her, scene torturing Reiju. It was the fact that bangs were included, and then removed, and then, included again. Those bangs were not there when she first appeared in the Fishman Island arc, without any lines, but she appeared. That was her. Now, many people drew at least a connection between the two, but some people just assumed it was a different daughter. And honestly, it turns out it wasn't, which I am fine with. I like that that was foreshadowed from the very beginning, and that anyone could have picked up on it if they had really paid attention, and not just had a bad superstitious feeling like we all did. But the saddest part is, from what we saw in the last 2 or 3 chapters, I'm pretty sure her act actually had Sanji 100% fooled, and he was actually starting to fall in love with her one way or another. I mean, I'm sure his convictions were still there or whatnot, but this just solidifies it for him and for us, the viewers. Because if there was one thing that all of us have been thinking about the Whole Cake Island arc, is how is everyone going to be when the arc ends? Like, is everyone going to fight Big Mom? Is nobody going to fight Big Mom? Is there going to be an Impel Down level riot? What's going to happen? Because obviously, with the time that we have left, Luffy's probably not going to fight Big Mom head on. He most definitely cannot do that. If anything, the food that Sanji has right now could easily just be given to Luffy so that, he could come back to life and keep his promise. Plus, if you think about it, that would be a foreshadowed event too, because in the previous chapter, or maybe it was the chapter before, Sanji was actually told of the whereabouts of Luffy and Nami. And unlike Pudding, whose act is more or less an act, and has been revealed, pretty much everyone that matters now, Sanji can still pull off the husband act until he gets the food to Luffy. And then the three of them can wreak havoc. Brook can do what he needs to do. Actually, thinking about it, we didn't see any continuation of what happened to Brook. But we did see Peckham's, which is something I actually should have paid more attention to in the beginning. But Pudding was something I wanted to really get off my chest so you guys could get off yours. Because this chapter, despite, having the Pudding revelation, that wasn't the only big reveal we had. For example, many of us were wondering if we would ever see Peckham's constantly mentioned bounty. Not Peckham's, not Tamago even, though we got his. Pedro's. So we finally got the backstory for Pedro. First of all, his bounty is really high. Like, I didn't think it would be that high, but he's a New World pirate. Thinking about it logically, it can't be a low-level bounty, but no, it's 300 million and 8,200, which is a weird number. And Tamago is the same, with 400 million, 2,900. Like, the fuck? What kind of bounties are those? And these are manga stream translations, so it's not like an error or anything. It's the actual bounties, which is weird, but nice. So we got that, and he was the ex-captain of the Nox Pirates, who I'm guessing the relative of Beppo, known as Zeppo, was a part of. And I'm guessing here's how their last visit went to, Big Mom. They know him as the Poneglyph Thief. So obviously, he and Zeppo tried to use their connection to Peckham's to get close to the Poneglyph. That did not work. And he fought with Tamago. Didn't exactly win, but he took Tamago's eye in an attack. Now, Tamago was not the one who took Pedro's eye. Pedro took his eye out, period. Because Big Mom, being the whimsical bitch that she is, Peckham's tears actually got Pedro's... I'm really messing up with my P's. He got Pedro's sentence of, life being taken from him reduced by 10, and then him taking out his eye to at least be even with Tamago losing his, got it down another. So basically, Zeppo, let's not forget about him, he spun for, the fact that he would lose 100 years. But I'm guessing he was a lot older than Pedro, and he only had 30 years left. So, when it came down to it, the other 70 would have to come from Pedro. But thanks to Peckham's and Pedro taking out his own eye, 70 got reduced to 50, and he probably will drop dead at any second during the arc if he doesn't get his life back, which I could totally see him doing. Kind of like the shadows from Thriller Bark. They can just make it back in time for him to live. And speaking of the roulette, we still need to see what happened to Jinbei. Did he actually lose something? And while I wasn't exactly 100% sure, thinking about how Zeppo only had 30 years left in his life, that means he was considerably older than Pedro, and might have actually been not just a relative of Beppo, but maybe his father. Wasn't stated, but his image, name, and age would pretty much say he's either Beppo's father or grandfather, depending on how old Beppo actually is. But we do get to see how Big Mom occasionally cares about her subordinates. Reducing the sentence merely for Peckham's and so on and so forth. And speaking of Tamago, he always had a Humpty Dumpty feeling. Something I couldn't really put my finger on, but Leg Benedict. Yeah, definitely a Humpty Dumpty technique, because it's got that egg motif. And he's using Long Leg Tribe, and he's a decent swordsman. So, it goes to say that he was actually pretty damn strong. Now, why do I say was? Because depending on what devil fruit powers he may or may not have, because honestly, he has to have something. There must be. There's no real way about it. He has to have that. But we don't really know. So for the at least for the foundation of it, he may be dead. He may not be. The yoke thing that came out of him probably, proves otherwise. I mean, he's probably like a Humpty Dumpty like devil fruit or something. I don't know. Because that would explain the egg-like pants, at the very least. Is that a devil fruit? I mean, it must be, honestly. There's no freaking way that egg yolk just is there. Seriously. It's insane. But until further notice, he is at least seemingly incapacitated. So now we just have Pudding to be dealt with. I mean, damn, bitch is fucking crazy. I'm not going to drag on much longer. Let me just talk about Chopper real quick. It seems that Chopper's, plight has finally taken itself into full fruition. Like, they're just going through all the mirrors. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a mirror looking into my shower, first of all. Not sure if that's different for other parts of the world, but I don't, and I never have. I've never seen one like that. Unless you're one of those rich fucks who like to look at themselves naked, just say, I look beautiful, I am rich, powerful, and I'm digressing. Either way, it was hilarious, but you can also see that they actually can move freely as long as they have contact with Brûlé. So that's another nice little piece of information there. But aside from that, and Luffy's determination to rip his hands off, which are definitely not going to be necessary, what did you guys think about this whole chapter? Versus the bounties, versus, the time we have left. Because from what it looks like, people have always said it's probably going to be an Impale down-level riot. I think so too, now that Sanji has a way to team up with his family. Like, I always thought that he'd have to fight the rest of the Vinsmokes. But with Reiju knowing the truth, regardless of whether she's going to live or not, it at least seems that, things will, look okay in terms of relationship with the Vinsmokes at the end of the arc. Because in the end, they are just as much victims as the, Straw Hats are. They, as strong as they actually are probably not Big Mom's level either. They thought they were using Big Mom for her army, but in reality, Big Mom knew about their clone army, and she wants that. That's her angle on this. And she doesn't need to get it by political means at all, which is strange because given how Big Mama has used political marriages nonstop, you would think that she would at least take that seriously. So does that mean she really is going to kill Luffy and the others? Well, when she was first mentioning a cake covered in Luffy's blood, that might have just been foreshadowing of how deadly the wedding was supposed to be from the very beginning. When I mean supposed to be, I don't mean like rewrite. I mean like how it's supposed to be. How it will be. Well, Luffy's obviously not going to have his blood and guts all over the cake, so not supposed to. Either way, once again, tell me what you guys think. This has been Smalls the Black 994. Don't forget to leave a like, and subscribe and check out some of the other shit. See you guys next time.